are now listening to the Fantasy Standard Podcast on Talkdown TV with P and Ryan.
Welcome to the Fantasy Standard Podcast on Talkdown TV. This is P. If you're watching, it means you're on YouTube, and we kindly ask that you drop a like and hit that subscribe button. If you're listening, it means you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audio Boom, and all other podcast platforms. We also kindly ask that you hit that subscribe button and leave a review. So joining me today, obviously, you know that week to week, we have special guests from our fantasy league, and we have yet another person that you've probably heard of a lot, mentioned of a lot. One of the most active managers, not only move-wise, but troll-wise. I wouldn't put him in the troll category. I think he's just more of the blatantly honest people. I just think that's what you're going to get. What are we going to call you? Are we going to still call you COVID? Are we going to go with Undertaker this week? Are we calling you Undertaker this week?
That's aimed at Ricky.
Our boy, the Undertaker's joining us.
That's aimed at Ricky.
Yo, what's up, brother?
Hello. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on the cast. You've been doing a great job this year, man. Kind of glue that's holding the league together. I got to give you that.
I appreciate it. The reason I talked to Ryan about doing this is, number one, it's practice for us, adding another show to the network. But also, last year, I felt like you, the commish, and John were holding like the trash talking together, like basically with Band-Aids. I felt like it wasn't as active. Obviously, Ryan wasn't in the league, so that's one less person. This will be a way to kind of stir up a little bit of like the news that's bubbling and keeping things active. Yeah. But I appreciate that. You know, I still say I have no idea what I'm doing, but I appreciate that you do.
You're doing a good job, and thank you, man.
I appreciate that. We do know each other for a long time. You've been my boy. Again, that's a theme for this league, and I think it's important to have a successful league to have people that you know are your boys, right? Like, things get heated in this league. To say the least. But I do appreciate you coming on. Before we talk about our league, I do want to start asking people, how long have you been playing fantasy?
I've probably been playing about maybe around 10 years. I don't think I was in the league with you guys when it first started. I jumped in maybe 2-3 years in.
I think 2 years after. Yes. Yeah. So 10 years, you would say?
About that.
Nice. Do you feel like this league sharpened your blade?
Yes, for sure. For sure. I don't like to lose, just me personally, at anything. So, yeah.
I can't tell.
It's just, part of who I am.
I will say, since you've been in the league, you've probably been one of the most consistent managers in terms of like year in, year out. We know you're going to be competitive.
I've only missed the playoffs one time ever.
Yeah, I mean, dude, hey, there's some people that made it to the playoffs once and they haven't knocked on the door since. And there's some people that have never made it.
And the year I didn't make it, I think it was because of you, and I missed the playoffs by like less than a point.
not that we're keeping tabs or anything.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. So, and the reason I bring that up is because I feel like people mention that, I'm in like X amount of leagues. Look, I'm in one league because I want to focus on this league, right? Like I want to, again, I mentioned the competition. I want to know that I can outwit all of the other managers who I know are really good in this league, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a point of pride when we talk about the fact that, our expertise across the board for the most part is I would above board, you would say, right?
I would agree. And I would say if you, like, I am in a work league, but that's a half point PPR. If that league were to decide to go full point PPR, I probably wouldn't be in it because it would be too hard to track both rankings.
Is that more casual?
Yeah, it is, but not this year. I won last year and I was very vocal about it. And now I've got 10 people gunning for my throat.
So our boy Suicide Squad is also in the league. You brought him on, right? And he was telling us that when you won last year that he was not hearing the end of it. So appreciate you keeping it up for the champs and pumping your chest a little bit.
Oh, I was bad. I literally Babe Ruthed it all the way there.
That's what I'm gonna tell you. In this league, I think everybody roots against two people winning championships. Like Mike, I just feel like it's because he's been there, right? Like you want to beat the best, right? So you feel like, that's why you maybe want to beat him, right? But when it comes to two people not winning championships, we got one last year that won them. John won it last year, and I think we already saw the extent of what that could do. I think Pootie is one of them.
He earned it though. John earned that last year.
I mean, you got to give respect where respect is due. But Pootie is one of them. If he wins it, I can tell you it's over.
Yeah.
And then the second person, who was I thinking about? It's not John. It's not Ricky.
Should be me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the second person is you.
Should be me.
Dude, you're like right here. Yeah, the second person is you because I heard. I mean, you're already, when you're winning, dude, it's almost impossible to open this chat without saying, damn, here he goes again.
Yeah, that's kind of how I roll.
Okay. One thing I wanted to talk about before we go to the other side. What kind of, do you ever feel like certain people are stronger at, and we talked about this a little bit before I hit record. Do you feel like certain people scout certain players stronger just based on what they like, how they watch football?
Yeah, absolutely. Some people only pay attention to a quarterback when the game's going on. The running back position is probably the hardest to figure out, especially the way that the league has evolved. I mean, just ask the Denver Broncos. How did paying Melvin Gordon work out for him?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
not working out. The trend is going down. Zeke, they paid him all this money. Doc goes down. I mean, did Doc need Zeke or did Zeke need Doc, right?
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's, you're starting to see some changes. So the quarterback position might be, if you get the top two quarterback, you could lack in two other positions. But it's probably the hardest to scout.
I think, but it's funny you say the quarterback because I think in this league, since you've joined this league, you've literally had the number one quarterback. I'm gonna put that out there and say every year without even doing my research. I feel like you've had the number one quarterback every year.
And I would have this year too if Doc didn't turn his foot backwards.
Yeah,
that was ridiculous.
You were on your way. You were on your way.
I would have had it. And right now, the way that the league is going, I mean, just the NFL season, Doc would have been throwing 5 touchdowns a game. He was on his way.
Yeah, the way that offense was looking. Oh, I mean, it worked out. There's a lot of injuries on that offensive line. I mean, it's crazy. I will say that I did want to mention that quarterback wise, specifically, you watch the game differently when it comes to quarterback. You've had that eye. Drafting wise, now this year you made a move to kind of. Luckily, you made that move before Dak got hurt for you.
Yeah, and I don't regret it one bit. I gave up Adrian Peterson. He's about to be in the washer. Your guy Swift is taking off.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Taking off.
Yeah, I do. Again, let's. We're already talking about the league. I think we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna go to the other side.
All right, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, a brief moment to recap the Lights Out Fantasy Football League. Lights Out League, where you never know what Nelson will do next.
All right, so we're back. Now, on the other side, what waits for us is 2 cents. I am a gracious host, so I will allow my guy here to take the first cents. Kick it away.
Well, my 2 cents, I would say I'm going to go league-wise, NFL, not necessarily our league at the beginning of it. I would say watch out for the rookies coming up at the later half of the year. There's a few teams that I think may seem like they're mailing it in, but I think because of COVID, you're going to see lower caps in the league next year, and that's across all professional sports to the point where I think the future is going to be undetermined, and teams are going to be a little bit more mindful of their cash. They're not just going to throw money at people.
We're already seeing that with baseball.
Yeah. So, I think developmental game plans, I think you're going to see a little bit more often than we're used to.
So do you feel like that's going to affect plans? Teams now are starting to kind of gear their game plans, preparing to lose certain players?
I think so. I think it's possible. Absolutely.
Like one example, and I talk to Ryan about this player all the time because I feel so bad about this guy. It's Allen Robinson, right? Like pretty much in prime years. This is maybe his last big opportunity for a contract.
But why would you give him a max contract if you don't think you're going to win a Super Bowl? Now, if Aaron Rodgers turns around in Green Bay and says, I don't want to stay here anymore, dream matchup, seeing him go to Chicago in a year or two, pay Allen Robinson.
And you normally see those players that play in one division for most of their careers. When they do move, they move to another team within the division.
Well, Favre went to the Vikings, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Aaron Rodgers is in a very similar situation to what Favre was. And, whether he wins the big chip this year or not, I think you might see some movement there.
Do you think he'll be in the Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady mold where they're looking for that team to help maybe get them that last chance?
That guy's got nothing but ego. So absolutely.
Yo, but I feel like he's been a little more centered this year. Haven't you felt that?
Well, he had to be because they put his replacement right behind him.
Yeah. That shit'll humble you quick, right?
Yeah, real quick.
Second Sense. Do you want to take it away, or do you want to give that one to me? I'll leave that up to you.
Have it up to you, man. Your words are cherished.
I will say I did want to mention that every single one of you that join us, I know it's not easy to schedule and take time out of your schedules. I know you have a family. Again, Pooty has agreed. Carl has agreed to come on next week, which is amazing. I really love that the league has kind of embraced this podcast, and I can't say enough how much is meant to me. So I wanted to use my sense to say thank you to the Nelsons who, we put him in the drop. We didn't have to do that, and he took it like a good sport. So I did want to say that, Nelson, not many people would have handled it that way. To you for joining me, and people always like, hey, what are you going to have on the pod? What are you going to talk about? Just trying to help sharpen my blade as a podcaster. So I just wanted to say my sense. There's no animosity on this one, guys. I just wanted to say thank you, and year 2 will be better. We're going to make this one better for next year. That's all I want to say. That's my 2 cents, and I'm sticking to it.
I agree. Well, thank you from the league, man. You've been doing a good job.
Thank you, bro. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. So first thing that I'm gonna, on my screen, again, I have to preface that when I look at my recaps, it's always gonna show my matchup first. So last week I played my boy Ryan. I honestly did not think I was gonna have a chance. The projections didn't think I had a chance. I mean, if you look at his projections week to week, it's almost at 120. That scares the hell out of you every week.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Brian's got a squad. He's got a squad.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah. So I won this one 103 to 73. Lamar came through, with a game that I felt like this was gonna be the Lamar I was gonna get this year.
Well, yeah. But he's not performing the way that you thought.
No.
When'd you draft him? In the 3rd round?
I went in a second round.
Second round.
Yeah, man. Ahead of like a Aaron Jones.
Yeah. I would have taken him in the 3rd if he were there. I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. But he's not developing. Like, I've been reading a few articles this week. Did you see? I think one of his own teammates said he thinks that the other team's got him figured out now.
Well, I think Lamar, even before the New England game, was saying he was kind of hinting that the play calling, the other teams already know what they're running.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to note about that offensive coordinator is Greg Roman. And if anyone knows, I think certain people have heard that name. It's because that was Colin Kaepernick's offensive coordinator when they went to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. The league adjusted to Kaepernick, and what happened the year after.
Yeah, no, you're right. But, and you see the Ravens now rolling out three-headed monster running back. They don't want to win the ball. They don't want to win the games with Lamar necessarily. They want to put that pounding on those 3 guys. And they got good options there. Dobbins, Ingram, and Edwards. So, but you're still going to see, you still have that upside, because if they get down on the 6-yard line, 10-yard line, anywhere there, Lamar's going to make it happen.
Yeah, I think I compared Lamar Jackson to I think a Drew Lock. I think it was Drew Lock's numbers I was looking at.
Yeah.
And I think they had almost the same passing yards. I think they had the same number of passing touchdowns, right? Yeah. The only difference was that Lamar had 55 rushing yards. Lamar had 26 points. Locke had 17, 16, or something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, I think the draft capital is where you argue, was he worth it there?
Well, what else were you going to do? I mean, it fit your strategy, so I don't think you're regretting it.
No, I mean, I like knowing that I have a guy that week to week is going to have a safe floor, and I'm just going to stick with it. I can't. I've seen even like a Russell Wilson, right? Who you feel like this guy's matchup proof everywhere. And look, Russell Wilson has an 11-point game. Who saw that coming?
Well, for what it's worth,
The Rams defense.
Yeah, the Rams defense. And I mean, Russell Wilson's been in the league for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's never put up numbers like this before.
Yeah.
Never put up numbers like this before. Now, DK Metcalf is a game changer. I mean, was Russell playing at a ceiling level the whole beginning of the season? It's a possibility.
Yeah, and you could also argue that the league was still getting in shape too, right?
Correct.
Yeah, defenses are still getting in shape. So not to linger too much on this matchup, you touched a little bit on Swift. I drafted Swift and I drafted him for the end of the season, hoping that Matt Patricia would see what he had in him.
He's doing exactly what I wish Cam Akers did.
Right. And again, that's why you drafted Cam Akers. Jonathan Taylor, maybe you knew he was going to get work in the beginning, but these guys like Cam Akers, like Swift, those home run guys, you draft them holding on to them because you know what they're worth, right?
Yeah, and he's doing it with subpar quarterback play. I mean, Stafford's not himself this year. And, Swift, it seems like Swift might be the cornerstone of, that offense here shortly.
I mean, Patricia, sometimes the rotations early in the year was Kerryon Johnson, then AP, then back to AP, then back to AP, then Kerryon Johnson, and then Swift will come in a catch a pass for like 15 yards, and then he's back on the bench.
And if Galladay were to get healthy, I mean, God, it could open up the sky's the limit for the kid. Honestly.
Yeah, that's true. On Ryan's side, again, you mentioned the injury that Lamar Jackson with Baltimore. I did like the usage for Andrews after Boyle got hurt.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah, I agree.
It's huge.
Andrews is hit or miss. He's either going to win you a week or he's not going to hurt you.
Right.
The tight end position could not hurt you that bad. If you literally don't win a chip because of the tight end position, you didn't do it right.
Right. Unless you spent the first round pick on a tight end and you started off the wrong way.
I got Gronk one year in the second round. I'll never do it again. Never do it again.
I've made that mistake before too, bro.
Never works out. Never works out.
But hey, maybe we'll have you on in the summer in one of our draft strategy a podcast.
I'd like that.
Yeah, I think that'll be amazing. And I might have a few more people on it too, just maybe like a panel episode. Let's go over to the next matchup. That was HHM and UAA. And that one was 117. HHM took it. I think HHM has like a 4-game winning streak right now.
Nelson put up a fight.
Yeah. This was a pleasant surprise.
He put up a fight.
Yeah, the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stack, right? It did work.
Yeah, and Diggs is more of a surprise to me than Allen. I think at the beginning of the year, I think we all knew Allen was going to be good.
Maybe take a step forward.
Yeah, but Diggs, I honest to God, I had no idea he was going to be that good on Buffalo's offense. I didn't think any wide receiver would have been that good on Buffalo's offense. No offense to you Bills fans.
I saw a retweet today. I think that me and a few people in the league. I saw a stat or a prediction, and someone retweeted it because it was a terrible take considering what Diggs is doing. I think the projection was 60 catches, 800 yards and 5 touchdowns for the year for Diggs.
Yeah.
That's what you had him at?
No. I mean, I didn't calculate it out like that, but I look at it like this, right? Mm-hmm. Minnesota had a choice between Thielen or Diggs. Mm-hmm. I think they picked wrong.
I agree.
I think they picked wrong.
I agree. Although Jefferson looks good.
Jefferson looks good, but do you think Thielen would put up those same numbers in Buffalo?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I don't either.
I get exactly what you're saying, and you're right. I think for what Diggs can do is a lot more value, and especially and more valuable to a team like Buffalo, who's on the cusp, right?
Yeah, and he'll block. He'll get out. He'll get dirty.
Yeah. I'm pleasantly surprised as a Bills fan. I had no idea. One thing I did notice that stack outdueled the vaunted Rodgers-Adams stack.
Yeah. Yeah, and that game was closer than we thought too. Jacksonville and Green Bay, right?
I mean, that's why I'm not a gambler, bro.
Yeah. That game, everybody thought it was going to be a blowout, and no, Jacksonville showed up to play.
Yeah, man. I know why he played Brandon Cooks. You look at the weather. The only thing that played the role is that weather that was because there was like still that tropical storm lingering right in the Northeast.
I was about to play Baker Mayfield instead of Cam and pulled him out for that reason.
Yeah. So it's one of those little things we talk about. The wild card or the variable that you can't control is the weather. So because I mean, I think that was the lowest output for Deshaun Watson this year.
Yeah, and I think that's the lowest that you're going to see.
Agreed. I think we're on the same page with him. We'll talk about him later. Every time I look at HHM's team, I'm like, he got Kamara. Yeah, but we got Kamara doing Kamara things. Kareem Hunt. What do you think about Kareem Hunt's production going forward with?
I mean,
Chubb being there?
Chubb. This is what Chubb's second year in the league now. Third,
I would say. You had him his rookie year.
Yeah. Has he had an extension yet?
I think he's still on a rookie deal.
He's going to come out firing. That man's trying to get paid, right?
I mean, look at the first game. If that's easing him in, easing him in, dude, I'm scared.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I look at that. I mean, he's looking to get paid. And
all right, now the question I'm asking you is, what does that do to Hunt's value?
It's going to hurt it. I think he'll still be startable. RB2. I mean, look,
low end RB2 or low end RB2 flex or RB2.
To be honest, if you have Kamara as your number one, he's a perfectly good two.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I would say. Mike's not going to hurt there, and he's still got Eckler waiting in the wings, which we'll see what happens there. I don't know if that's really going to work out. Eckler, it just seems weird over there in San Diego. The running backs just come in and just lay down.
Yeah, and that offensive line is terrible. I think that offense is built for a guy like Eckler that, you're not going to get most of your yards maybe between the tackles. You're going to get them dump offs and screens and, those little draw plays. That's where Eckler excels. One thing I want to say about Eckler that I didn't know how interested he was in fantasy football.
Yeah, he said he's coming back soon, right?
Yeah, and doing full sprints.
But he did think that this offense was his going into the year. It's not. It's Herbert's.
Yeah, it is.
It's Herbert's. And that kid, he's got top 5 talent,
100%.
I completely slept on him. I had no idea he was going to be that good.
Me too. I tried to trade for him, but let's not talk about that.
I tried to.
I think we all did. Dallas Goedert, you hope that he produces more with Ertz not being there. So now maybe have you missed the window in taking control of that tight end position there in Philly? That's something to think about, right?
It is. I don't know. I mean, Wentz is really hard to predict. I don't know. I mean, the guy looked like he was going to be the MVP his rookie season, and he just hasn't put it together since.
He can't stop turning the ball over.
He can't stop. I don't know what's going on. I mean, you remember when the Eagles won that Super Bowl? It was, this is going to be a dynasty.
Yeah.
Now they can't even keep their shoes tied.
Now Peterson's got to start thinking, is my job on the line?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because it's just a lot. And the injury thing, I get some teams have the injury bug in a year, right? But this is now 2 straight years that we're dealing with like a considerable amount of injuries on the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, even last year, I had Ertz on my team last year, and I mean, I know you made a trade for him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy just, and then the 1 week you bench him, he'll go off for 3 touchdowns and 70 yards. Watch.
Yeah, I got him pure volume, right? Like I was like, I know that the offense involves the tight end, right? And 2 tight ends can thrive in that system. So that's the only reason I wanted him. I was going to accept the validity for that, right? Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I'm feeling good about Jordan Reed.
Well, and the Eagles division is weak, right? So it's still open.
Super weak. Anything else here on Nelson and Mike's matchup? I see McKissick and Zane Gonzalez. He started Zane Gonzalez every week.
I'll say this: if Mike really wants to win a chip again, get Antonio Brown out of your lineup. Stop this sentimental love fest for this guy. He's not going to be that dude again.
So rest of the season, I'm asking you another tough question. Rest of the season is what Where do you put Antonio Brown? Is he a wide receiver 3? Wide receiver 3, 4?
At best. Godwin is phenomenal.
I love
Godwin.
that. Yeah.
Godwin is phenomenal, and Mike Evans. He's earned his keep over there. So, this guy can't come in and just command 10 targets a game. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, this is how it is with Brady from observing like his games the last few weeks, and not really having any stock in any of the players.
Yeah.
Mike Evans and Gronk are the red zone guys.
Yeah.
Godwin is the between the 20s guys.
Wherever he's open.
Wherever he's open, Godwin's being looked at a lot. He's probably going to be one of the target leaders every week.
Which Mike has also, right?
Yeah.
So, go figure.
Let's move on to the next matchup, and that was these guys, man. These fucking guys. It's JC is trash, which is our guy Pootie, and Pootie no playoffs, which is our guy John.
This is a good one. I think that feelings were caught this week in this one.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, this was probably the most active matchup in terms of trash talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and these are two guys that are vying for the MVP, the troll MVP race.
I'll be honest. I think Pootie may have made the trade of the season outside of Mike's. I really like his pickup of Herbert, and he's ascending fast.
I agree. And again, a manager that even though he was in it, right?
Yeah.
He didn't just he wasn't happy with his team, so he made moves. I felt like there were some people that could have made moves that seasons are over right now that didn't operate this way.
I agree. But he has to realize that Fournette is trash.
Yo,
I tell him that all the time.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Can't help it.
I should have had a drinking game to see, how many times you'd mention Lenny.
That guy sucks. I told him that at the beginning of the season. He wasted a 3rd round pick on him. Lost. But whatever. Stand by your guy.
The Herbert pickup was amazing, and that's going to change the playoff picture for the league, not just.
And Chubb's not going to be lazy for the rest of the year. Like I said, that young man's playing on a rookie contract. He wants to get paid.
So you love Chubbs and Jacobs. That's a formidable duo.
Yep.
I guess you want him to get Fournette out of there.
I do. Not against me. He could, play him against me all he wants to. But.
And you looked at the game against against Miami, and you're like, oh, this might be the first game that Herbert scores under 20 points, and he still got 25.
Yeah, the offense is going to run through him.
That's amazing.
It's going to run through him.
It's really nice. What else do we see? Chubb, welcome back. I mean, he could have had more if he wasn't an unselfish player. Todd Gurley, you got to take some notes.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas. So he made the move for Michael Thomas, right?
Yeah. Well, John, he's got a good shot. I mean, Watson, that was an outlier game. That hurricane weather.
I agree.
There was no way he was going to do good there. I mean, he's lucky that he got out healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But Thomas, I'll be honest, and I'll put this out there. If Thomas does not produce this week, ring the alarms. Something's wrong with this kid.
You think so?
I do.
I was talking
before this week, he had 6 points all year, and he's been hurt, but it's been really weird. We don't know what's really going on there. Does it go back to when Drew Brees said that he would always stand for the flag? Like, we don't know. There's
there's a lot going on. That is a weird situation.
Yeah. There's something there that we don't know about.
Do you think that, and this is a great point to bring up, because I was having a conversation with Ryan before I started recording this, and it was almost like a pre-production meeting, you can say. And I was going through and I was telling him, hey, dude, I really think Michael Thomas might have a stud week this week with Jameis Winston there, because Jameis could actually throw it 15 yards.
If he does, it might be a personal thing too.
And I think that, to add to your point, what if a Jameis Winston has a different, like maybe for this year, maybe the chemistry is a little different.
Yeah. Well, look, Michael Thomas got paid, right? He got his big contract. If you don't like him, he don't care no more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how that happens with wide receivers the most. I hope that it works out well for John. I'm not rooting against him or for him. Of course not for him. But if Thomas does not produce this week, oof.
Ring the alarms, you said.
Ring the alarms.
All right, you heard it here. Hooper was a popular tight end waiver wire ad. I think he was on top of everybody's list. I didn't have him on top of my list. Bang, 1 point for you, brother.
I started him in my other league and lost by less than a point.
Wow. Yeah, dude. Baker Mayfield will never fool me.
Yeah.
Never.
I get it.
Never.
But he's capable of putting up big weeks.
Without a doubt.
He's capable.
But he will never fool me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mooney was another one of those popular pickups. Again, it's dangerous attaching yourself when your offense is one of the worst in everything it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And the other thing I'll say, John must be happy that Taylor's finally not going to be on this team anymore.
That Hines Taylor, the decision is now going to be on.
I don't know if that was a good move going from Nixon, though.
You don't think so? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that trade when we go to the matchups. Let's go to the next recap, and that is that's your matchup, the Struggle Bus and the Undertaker. You blew him out. Struggle Bus is struggling. He has the right players on his team, but he has not been able to put them in at the right time.
I agree. I mean, Wentz, who knew? I mean, I alluded to it earlier. The guy's he's a wild card. Terry McLaurin, that's got to be, he's one of my favorite receivers through the end of the year.
Me too.
I think he's going to blow up. Pittsburgh, seems like they don't want to run the ball. I mean, they were up by 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and they were still throwing the ball.
You would think with that injury that Big Ben had, you would think that maybe let's just hand it off, right?
No, that's not what they did.
It's a division game, though. That's another thing that maybe that's why Tomlin did that.
I don't know. It also could be Connor has an injury history, right? And he doesn't trust the ball with anybody else. So you got 3 good receivers. Spread it out. Ben doesn't throw interceptions, Yeah. One thing I'll add on interesting about Ben, do you remember the draft class he came out in?
Yeah, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning.
Yeah, and 5 years ago, would you have thought Ben would still be the one rolling like he is?
No, I thought that maybe Eli would be the one still around.
Me too. Ben was talking about retiring 5 years ago.
And I think out of all of them, Ben has absolutely been beat up the most.
Yeah, I agree. And there might be a coach's thing going on there, meaning Ben has threatened to retire 5 years ago. If you're just going to ground and pound it, maybe I'll just retire. You don't need me for that.
Damn, you got like the little narratives, I didn't think about that.
I think I'm thoughtful.
Yeah, no, that's a different way to look at it, right? I didn't think about that. That's true. Because you know what? When Josh Allen, I think last year, I was likening Josh Allen's career trajectory to what Big Ben did with his career.
Yeah.
Because he started off as a game manager.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Don't lose the game for us.
I mean, look at it like this. Tom Brady, if he went to Tampa Bay and Bruce Arians told him, we're going to run the ball, you think he would have went there?
No.
These guys want to play, right? They want to get the records. They're cocky. They think that they're the best. Every single one of them.
Yeah, they want to win, but they also want to be at the forefront of it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Gotcha. Let's look at on your side here. I see Cam. I think Cam, what you're gonna get out of Cam is a safe floor. You almost have what I have in Lamar. I feel like you got a QB / RB1.
Yeah, but like a C version of it. You have an A version of it.
Right. Yeah. But still, I mean, especially considering the fact that you lost your guy.
I lost my guy, but I have some faith in Cam because I think same thing I was just talking about with Ben. He has an ego. Yeah. He doesn't need the money anymore. He doesn't need to do this. He picked the code to New England for a reason. Last week on the show, I heard you guys say Ricky thought that they were playing for a draft pick. I don't think you will ever see that out of Bill Belichick.
No, not out of Belichick.
Not his style. That is not his style.
Yeah.
Not his style. That guy, I think him and Belichick probably made a deal, and Bill said, I'm going to do everything I can to get you paid again, but you ain't getting paid here.
Yeah.
Because he will not be a Patriot next year.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
I agree. Maybe the Bears is in the future there for Cam.
Something like that.
Yeah, they need something. They need a new coach.
He's literally just doing his resume right now with all these games. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Hey, Gibson. I think they've successfully converted him into Christian McCaffrey.
Well, not really, because McKissick
I don't think it's the yard. I don't think the yard, but I think the usage, like the fact that rushing and receiving, it looks like they're going to use him in that hybrid role.
It's heading that way. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Gibson go in the second round next year. Honest to God. I know it sounds crazy, but he's a rookie. He's going to have progression. I think he's going to be one of the most hyped guys in the offseason. Ron Rivera knows how to coach.
100%. One thing to look at is who's going to be the quarterback there in Washington next year.
Yeah.
Because they have the pieces there.
They do. They got a good defense. They were a pleasant surprise this year.
Yeah.
But McKissick had like what? Something like 17 targets over the last 2 weeks. Like,
yeah.
Maybe even last week. Like he's having, it doesn't even seem like he's cutting into his workload. It seems like has his own playbook. You know,
they've been on the field at the same time too.
Yeah. McKissick is operating like a wide receiver 3/ tailback, and it's weird to see.
Going to your running back situation with Drake, man, I don't understand the Cardinals.
I don't want to get it either. Why do they bother? They must know something about Edmonds that we don't.
Clearly, Edmonds fits that offense better.
Yeah, I don't know what I have no idea what to say about it.
Hey, I was talking to Ryan, and we were both commending your Jacoby Myers play and pick up and play.
Yeah, thank you.
Really nice.
That was risky.
Yeah, in that offense, right? But
but they showed up, and they.
Let me tell you something. When you're getting 31 targets in 3 weeks, I'd say that's a nice pickup.
He's getting 80% of Cam Newton's air yards.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And if Cam just progresses a little bit, then he should go north with him, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man. So it was a good win by you, man. It keeps you in the race, right? That's all we need, right? That's all we want. We just want to be in the race. We just need to sit. I always tell you, I don't care about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care how I get in. I just want to get in.
Yeah, same here.
It doesn't have to be beautiful. I just want that W.
Yeah. Just don't want to get he hate me the first week. That's all.
Yo, for real. I don't think anybody wants to play him. The next matchup here we have is our guy downloading. Shoota scored 96 and he lost to Suicide Squad 107. Wow.
That was hilarious. I'll blow it up. He and I were talking around halftime of that Steelers game, and he thought he had it in the bag. It was pretty cute.
He did.
Yeah, it was pretty cute.
Man.
Yeah. He actually said, the Steelers need to start running the ball. I told them in the private chat they're not going to, and Ben Roethlisberger scorched him.
Okay, so that trade that happened with Suicide Squad sending over our boy Russ.
Yeah, for Robinson.
He got Robinson and Big Ben in that deal.
Not a bad deal.
He doesn't win this game without that deal.
No, not at all. He would have been trash without that deal.
Yeah.
Right? Russ put up about 11 points.
11 points.
Yeah.
Robinson's looking like a strong RB1 right now.
First round pick next year.
You think Robinson's a first round pick?
Next year? He might be. Might be. Because he gets all the usage. There's not many guys in the league. There's too many teams doing two or three running backs.
Yeah, I think if this coach is still there, I agree with you. I think that he's gonna use him the same exact way.
Yeah, if that's the case. If they bring in a free agent, something like that, then it'll change. But they don't need to draft a running back, that's for sure.
18 out of Gallman. Gallman looked good.
Gallman did look good. The Giants, I'm not a Giants fan.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny when they hired a special teams head coach from the Patriots, but the guy's doing his best.
Yes, he might be better than some of these other popular names. To me, Flores is my favorite former Patriot coach.
Yeah.
And you see what he's doing in Miami.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
Definitely better than my coach, Gase. Ugh.
Oh my God! But what coaching tree did he even come out of?
I don't even care.
Nah, I just think he's living off of that. It was the Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler. Wasn't he on the Bears offensive coordinator?
Yeah, and then Peyton Manning recommended him for the job in New York.
For the Broncos.
I mean, gosh, Peyton Manning was the one that said, "No, bring him in to New York. He would be good for Darnold." Oh, what a terrible thing!
My God! And I think what's happened with him is that he's doing exactly to Darnold that he did to Tannehill.
Yeah.
And the Jets are going to lose Darnold. The Jets are going to lose Darnold. He's going to go to a team, and he's going to become a franchise quarterback.
I have a bold prediction about that.
Go ahead.
I don't think the Cowboys are going to pay Doc. I could totally see some weird offseason trade where Darnold ends up in Dallas.
Darnold and then Fitzpatrick the backup.
Yeah, and then I could see Doc in the Jets. I could see that.
Oh, because the Jets would they have the money though?
They'll make the money. They got rid of Bell, right? They're not paying anybody else. Who else do they have?
Nah, they got rid of everyone. Jamal Adams gone.
Everybody.
They got rid of everybody. That's true.
If they don't have the cap space now, they will.
But I for your sake as a Jets fan, I would want you to clean house before making that move.
I have zero faith in the Jets. They got to sell the team. I'm a fan, but zero faith.
I'm a Bills fan, and I know when ownership changed, I love Ralph Wilson, but as soon as the new owners came in, they made a world of a difference for us.
Yeah.
Just saying. I feel your pain, my brother. Let's move on to the one thing I wanted to highlight about this one, that Monday night, our boy Shoota did have a chance. He got a chance because he did an unconventional move, which is he played two players on the same team. A lot of people frown on this. And my strategy, my thought process to this for the last few years is, why wouldn't I start him? If someone else had him on their team, they would start him.
Yeah, don't plan for somebody else to fail, right?
Yeah.
But with Minnesota, I might do that against him this week with the Steelers. We'll get into the matchup later. Mm-hmm. But Ben, I think, is going to throw the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. In a successful Vikings game, we've seen it this year. Kirk Cousins throws the ball, 15 times in a game?
Roughly, like 15 to 20 times.
It's not enough. It worked out for him. It worked out for him. He didn't underperform in those slots, but it's a bold move.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
Bold, very bold. Very
bold. One last thing, Suicide Squad traded for Rojo and had him on the bench. I think that whole Fournette, Rojo, if you're a Fournette or Rojo owner this year, the rest of the season, you don't know what to do.
Oh, don't play Fournette. That's what you do.
But you don't play Fournette, according to our guy here.
Look, Rojo just had a 99-yard run. I mean, he fumbles the ball.
He can't catch he can't catch for shit either.
Arians is going to roll with him. I think he's going to roll with him.
And he said he was. So he's been a man of his word so far. Yeah. We'll see what happens. The last matchup here, and it was look, I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to say I got to show some love to Let's Go for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
he beat me last week, but this is what we wanted for him for all year. I don't know if he was out of the country. Maybe he's able to make moves now, but what we got the last 2 weeks from him is what we expected to get. Right?
Yeah. He's got some unfortunate slots that just aren't gonna, like the Melvin Gordon thing. That's just tough love.
Yeah.
No, I mean, in reality, if Mahomes and Mahomes has had a pretty easy year. He's had a couple weeks where he didn't have to put up points, right?
Right.
He's kind of gliding to the playoffs. If Thomas would have performed, I don't know, his season might have been a little different.
Yeah, he got Cooper Kupp, who he just got from John, sending that misfortune over there to him. Yeah. He got Marvin Jones was a really good pickup. I actually was trying to get him that week. Really nice pickup. As long as Galladay's out.
Yeah.
Keep in mind on that. We got on Dead President's side, we got Kyler Murray.
Yeah, he's probably going to end up as the number one quarterback this year.
He might be the first quarterback with 4,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards.
Yeah.
History of the NFL. That's amazing. His wide receivers both underperformed this week, so naturally next week.
They're both boom or bust players.
They are. Cook. Cook might be to me, Cook might be the most dangerous person in the NFL.
He is. He did. That was his worst that you're going to see. 11 points against Chicago.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, damn, if this is his floor.
Only thing I will say though, I kind of stayed away from Cook. I could have drafted him, but he was statistically ranked as one of the highest probable people to get injured because of the way he plays.
100%.
So ride him while you can, man. Ride him while you can.
That's why the strategy with Cook should always be
handcuff him.
Draft your handcuff, and you have to go early for your handcuff. If not, someone like Pootie's going to draft him, right?
And he just got the handcuff, right? Madison, who's a phenomenal handcuff. He's not. I mean, Madison looks like Cook when he's on the field.
They're all I think if you literally had like a cloning machine,
looks just like him.
Yeah, exactly. It was all in all hard-fought win for our number one team in the league, our guy London. But Let's Go did have him sweating on Monday night. I know that for a fact.
He did.
So shout out to you, Let's Go. You got that off, my brother. I thought I was gonna be sitting here saying congratulations, but you lost. Anyway, let's go to the standings real quick before we get into the matchups. The first place, 10-0, Dead Presidents. Second, by the way, he's clinched a playoff spot officially. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah,
not surprised though. 10-0 is 10-0.
10-0, you're most likely in.
Yeah.
So he's already clinched. This is one of the earliest in our league's history that someone's clinched. I think our commish could fact check that for us. So speaking of commish, second place HHM at 7-3. Third place Dismantlegate, our guy Ryan at 6-4. Fourth, me, Poe Biden at 6-4. Fifth is JC is Trash, who is Pootie at 6-4. Sixth is Pootie No Playoffs, our guy John at 5-5. Seventh is Downloading, our guy Shoota at 5-5. Eighth is The Undertaker, our guy here, 5-5, still in the hunt. At ninth, At ninth, Suicide Squad, 3-7. A 10th, your Abuela's Attorney at 3-7. 11th, Struggle Bus at 2-8, and bringing up the rear per usual is Let's Go at 2-8. What do you see here?
Well, I don't know if Mike's going to lose another game.
Because I know you wanted to talk playoff picture. I wanted to give you your time here to talk playoff picture.
Well, what I think is cute is I get to go against Ricky this week. Yeah, so we could swap there.
That's going to be fun.
So
far, Ricky's the MVP for trolling.
And oddly, the week after I get Let's Go, and then week 13, do you know who I get then?
Ryan?
You.
Me? Oh, nice. Okay. For week 13, I got a pretty good matchups on week 13, bro. My team is like specifically set up for late season.
The way it might go, our playoffs might start then, me and yours.
Nice. Hey, I'm with it. Let's see what happens.
Might happen.
I hope not, but let's see what happens.
I'm not going away quietly. I think I got enough depth to withstand some injuries,
Yo, but wouldn't fate have it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't fate have it that all year I think I've been picking against my guy London, and it's because I just want him to lose, right? Like just come back to the pack. But wouldn't fate have it that I'd be the one to topple the giant this week?
Have at it, man. It's gonna be tough.
He probably looked at his team like, hell no.
You got a shot. You do.
Speaking of the matchup, let's get right into it, bro. Let's get into it. We got my matchup first with, speaking of which, with that president, the Titan, the giant, the Goliath of the league right now at 10-0. Damn, did his projection just go up?
Yeah, he put Harris in.
But Harris was in already. Miles Sanders went up a point. Got it. Yeah. No, Metcalf went up. Oh, somebody went up.
Yeah, Metcalf's gonna try to have a revenge week. He didn't like it.
Yeah, so you see the strategy I'm employing so far? Do you see who I have in the lineup? I got DeAndre Hopkins and Christian Kirk.
Do you?
Yeah.
I like Kirk, man. I mean, they're gonna have to put up points.
Last time Arizona played Seattle, Hopkins I think he had 14 points, and Kirk had 15 points.
It's the right play though. You got to swing for the fences. I mean, what are you gonna go in
against him?
Yeah.
You have to swing for unless you have a team like I think Mike is a team that he can throw out his lineup and be confident that he can compete with this lineup.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm not saying that we're not confident in our lineups.
No, but you got to get the high upside.
Yeah.
You got to get the high upside. And Kirk, I mean, last week was a low week for him.
Yeah, exactly. And you want it to be a low week when I don't use them.
But what was a little concerning, I would say, was last week Murray was obviously just peppering Hopkins the whole time.
Right.
And you hadn't seen that in a couple of weeks, which is when Kirk ascended. So
yo, I think he gave him 3 targets in that one game against Miami, and I was like, oh yeah, they're gearing up for one of those troll games.
One thing you're for sure of, though, you're going to get touchdowns out of one of the guys, right?
Yeah. The Thursday game, I think I looked with Ryan on Vegas has it at 55.
That's a
isn't
lot.
That low? For that game, isn't that low?
It might be. Depends on which Russell Wilson you see this week, right?
I mean, Seattle couldn't stop him last time.
Yeah.
I mean, Arizona couldn't stop him last time. What's going to change?
We'll see.
Oh, I saw a stat. Speaking of Russ and his winning, the last 2 years, Russ's record without Carson is like 2-7.
Really? I didn't know that.
Me either. I saw. Shout out to Twitter.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Right? But do you notice that the offense does move a little bit different when Carson's not there?
Yeah, he's a ground and pound, rough running back, right? He runs downfield and he's a good blocker.
The dangerous thing he added this year was that he was catching the ball this year.
Yeah, I like Carson.
Yeah, going back to this massacre that I hope that I avoid this week. Swift, hey, round of applause to my boy Swift. RB1 maybe now.
I think so, especially against Carolina.
Yeah,
against Carolina, I think he got a good shot.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at him, Miles Sanders getting healthier, he's pretty much matchup proof. Harris, damn that.
And
he built a really good team.
He's got Dalvin Cook. He's got Dalvin Cook going against Dallas. I mean, that's a wild. Yeah, you got to hope that Dalvin Cook's just sitting on the sideline come the third quarter, you know. But we'll see. I mean, Andy Dalton's coming back. Dallas might be different after the bye. We don't know.
I was thinking about that. Yeah. How different though, right? Like, are we talking 50% of Dak, right? Are we talking 25% of Dak? Are we talking 75% of what Dak was doing? You know what I mean? Like, what do we get?
50% of Dak would be enough.
That's good enough, right?
It would be enough to make it competitive.
Yeah. Harris, real deal or no?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he is, especially against Houston. I think Houston's probably got one of the worst defenses in the league.
Okay, so Dynasty, do you like Harris or Joe Mixon?
Well, that's tough to call because Belichick doesn't pay running backs, right? So you just don't know where he's going to end up.
But Harris is only in his second year. So you're talking about 3 years of the rookie deal.
Well, if you're going Dynasty, you get one more year with him, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I'd have to go Mixon, but Mixon's a little scary. I think Mixon has a higher outlook though than some of the people that are ranked near him because his offense should only get better.
You imagine Mixon with Indy?
Yeah. Indy's got a great defense. That's a team that's kind of reminds me of Chicago now.
Yeah. Let's on that note, well, who are you picking here? Are you picking Dead Prez to keep it going?
I love you, man, but it's hard not to.
I'm picking me to be the Titan killer to slay Goliath with my sharpshooter. Oh, I'm bringing you down, man. You're gonna lose this week, brother. And I want you to come on the show and tell me, yo, GG's, brother. GG's.
I'll tell you what. If Jackson has a blow up game along with Lockett that he's capable of, you got a shot. You got a real shot. I just need a chance. Your lips to God's ears, my brother. God bless you. Yeah. But if Lockett gives you like a floor week, Gonna be tough, brother.
And
Gonna be
you're
tough.
hearing already that Lockett sat out of practice. Is this gonna be a decoy game for Lockett? That's already in the back of my mind. So it's scaring me, but I ain't no bitch. I'm going for Goliath, man. Right here, bro. Right here. So the next matchup, go for it. He's saying go for it. That's between y'all. The next matchup we have here is our guy, our commish HHM, who's 7-3, and my boy Ryan Dismantlegate at 6-4. Man, this is a close one.
Yeah, from what I see, Ryan's got a tough road down the end here. I think he's got Mike this week and London next week. So, cheers to him, man. Keep it going strong.
Yo, it is a tough schedule, man. If he can somehow steal one of these two.
Yeah, it's good. This one looks harder to me though.
I think so. Parker and Judy. I think I like Judy more, but Judy has a tougher matchup.
Well, you know what he's got on his side is Indianapolis. They got a good defense. Green Bay's playing there. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think that's going to be a walk in the park. It's probably not going to be.
No, I don't think so.
It's not going to be. Julio Jones, you got Calvin Ridley coming back this week. So, does he have a blow-up game? And
the game that Julio came back really was in the game. The one against Carolina, yeah. He really got hurt in that game towards the end.
Yeah.
I think Julio benefits from a healthy Ridley.
He doesn't get touchdowns, though.
Yeah, but Julio's always been the guy. You'll look up, he has 15 points and no touchdowns.
Yeah, that happens. That happens.
For a wide receiver, too, I'll take that.
Yeah, I agree.
On Mike's team, right?
I agree.
We talked about Hunt, and maybe the number's ticking down, but 19 carries.
Yeah, but that was the hurricane weather. They couldn't throw the ball.
Yeah.
So I still started Hooper in my other league because I thought they would do little 2-yard rinky-dink passes to him.
Oh, yeah.
But didn't work out.
Nah. We got the tight ends that are. I think we don't know how Cook is gonna fare with Winston. If it's gonna be Winston, right?
It'll be Winston, but I think you'll see that other guy. What's his name?
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, you'll see him in the red zone.
So are you saying right here that avoid New Orleans fantasy players except Kamara?
Except Kamara, and Kamara might even have a downtick too. If Hill comes in on most of the red zone plays, it's possible Hill takes it in.
Bro, I think they're sleeping on Jameis.
Yeah, they're paying that kid Hill a lot of money.
Dude, don't get me started on that Taysom Hill deal.
Paying him a lot of money. He's got to get his bumps and bruises. Right?
Oh,
this is what you paid him for.
Isn't this what Cordell Stewart used to do for Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Cordell Stewart had a better arm than Taysom Hill.
Yeah, but they got to get their bang for their buck either way, right? It's already done. What's done is done. This is what you paid them for. They're going to utilize them in the red zone, I think. We saw it last week.
We did it. You're right. And one thing about Taysom Hill is that if it's an option, don't even worry about the running back. He's not giving it to him.
No, he's going to get his. He's going to get his.
This is a tough matchup, man. But, you got Harrison Butker back in.
But I'd say Andrews, if Andrews goes off, that bodes well for Ryan. One thing I'd be concerned of is the Dobbins play. I think with Mark Ingram back, I think it makes all three of those running backs kind of worthless.
Wow. It's not because they're not going to do well. I think if you get the numbers together, you got a serviceable running back. What you're saying is that it's almost like too much of a good thing.
If you have a two-headed monster, that's manageable in fantasy. If you have a three-headed monster, stay away from it. That's my opinion.
Well, the Lions had one. Well, the Patriots have like a 4 or 5-headed monster, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
And Miami has like a 6-headed monster.
But they're different roles. In New England, James White, he's only a pass down guy, right?
Yeah. And then Burkhead.
Sony Michel barely plays this year, and Burkhead is like their shiny toy that they pull out when they really need it.
I like Burkhead, man.
Me too.
Burkhead.
But the other catch is, you have a 3-headed monster there with a running quarterback, which you do.
Who is essentially your RB1.
Exactly. So I'd be a little bit weary of that.
Yeah, 100%. No, on that note, man, there's no escaping it. Who you got?
I got to go Mike.
You got Mike here, huh?
Man. Just glad I ain't playing him.
Yo, yeah, I think we're all saying it, man. In this week, I just think, again, the balance, right? Like, if you look at the running backs, you know, you give maybe the advantage to dismantle Gate only because you like Derrick Henry more than you like Kareem Hunt. Not because of the Hunt as a player, but just Hunt is no longer the guy there.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe on the running back, slight edge to Henry, especially if you think about Kamara taking a step down with Jameis. We don't know what that's going to look like. Jameis traditionally has not been a guy to dump it down.
No, he's going to air it out. But
traditionally, yeah.
But did you notice when he got into that game, it seemed like he took a couple sacks because he was just afraid to let the ball go.
He looked the scaredest I've ever seen him.
Yeah, he's afraid to throw those interceptions. So we might not see the same Jameis that you saw, you know, in Tampa. It might not happen.
In the W's, Jameis, we're not going to get that.
You might. I hope you do. I really do. But I don't know. It might not happen.
All right, I'm gonna pick my boy Rye only because I gotta even things out here. Just gotta split the series up here. I think this is I don't know if you want to agree with me here. It might be too early to pick it, but would you say this is a candidate for matchup of the week?
Definitely is matchup of the week. I think it is.
And there's
they're
a
both
lot
in the top 6, and you know they're both strong teams. And one thing to add to it, it might come down to, is it an Aaron Jones game or an Aaron Rodgers game, right?
Ooh, the Aarons. This is the battle of the Aarons.
Yeah, it might be that.
This is a good one though. Keep your eye out for this one. Let's go over to the next one, and we have our guy Pooty, who is playing UAA. UAA has already submitted their resignation letter, not resignation letter, but they pretty much already like mailed it in. They've conceded. They've conceded, no recounts.
Yeah, but he's still putting up points.
Yeah,
putting up points.
So what I say to him is, you know, and what I say to anyone that feels like they're out of it, because I did the math. Technically, if you have 8 losses, you're still in it.
That sounds like a reach.
Again, I mean, I'm trying to give you hope here. Right? I'm trying to give you hope here. 3-7, long shot, right? I think, and you're a math guy, so you can probably do the math better than me, but I think you have a long shot there. I think 8 losses, pipe dream, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I think 7 losses, man, you might still be able to just play it out, see what happens.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you put your money into it already. You gotta, you know, see what you can get out of it. Shutting it down is the wrong way to go about it.
Especially when there's I know I've done this in the seasons where I feel like, damn, you know, I couldn't control things. Let me try something different, right? Let me look at players different. Let me just not look at, I remember one time I was like, I'm not looking at projections anymore. And that shit actually worked for me.
Well, I think Nelson would feel pretty good if he beat Pooty this week, just in general, right?
Yo, okay. Wait, hold on. Didn't they bet that whoever lost would leave the league?
Did they?
Everyone listening here, I'd have to go back. I don't know if we mentioned it on the pod, but I know in the chat there was conversations of this matchup right here.
It sounds like it. They could replace that with $100 or something.
They could replace that with $100.
Yeah, whatever. It'd be funny.
Robbie Anderson takes a step down maybe because PJ Walker's starting, right? So it doesn't look as good there.
Is that official yet?
No. So right now what I'm hearing is that PJ Walker, and they're throwing the name Will Greer out as a possibility. Good luck with that.
Bridgewater is definitely a no-go.
Right now it's not looking like he's playing, but again, it's early in the week. I think they're doing this posturing. They're gonna sit him out this week. It's an MCL strain, right? So as a quarterback, I don't see him playing this week.
And I think he's got a new knee anyway, so they're gonna be careful with him.
Yeah, you got I was a big PJ Walker fan in the XFL.
Yeah, I like him too. He looks sharp. He was on the field once this year already.
Yeah,
he looked like he's dying to air it out.
Yeah. Again, Matt Rule, new coach. Maybe he's trying to like play it safe, but just let him air it out, see what happens. On this matchup, you got Pooty. The one thing you've noticed is you look at his lineup and you see acquisition. That's big pieces that he's added to his team via trade.
Yeah, I like what Pootie's done, man. Herbert, against the Jets, I mean, that's going to be a massacre. Robert Woods, I was hot on him at the beginning of the year, but man, that whole Rams offense has settled down.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I mean, bold prediction, you think Jared Goff will be there in 2 years? I don't know. I mean,
I think him and McVay are attached.
McVay didn't draft them.
That's a good point. That's Fisher's guy, right?
Yeah, and he saved them. He saved that kid's career. I mean, at what point does McVay say, I got to stop, taking the skin off my back for this kid? He hasn't made McVay look good. No,
you're right. And I think if you notice, McVay is the type of guy that wants to run a high-paced offense, like a 3 wide receiver. That's like the base, set for them. But you notice this year they've turned it almost into a running team.
3-headed monster, right?
Yeah.
Just like I said. And
just like you said, control the clock, a lot of running. You don't know what running back is going to be out there. I think it's whatever McVay feels at the moment.
Yeah. Protect your quarterback.
And I think it's not just to protect your quarterback. I think he doesn't want to overexpose his quarterback.
Exactly. We're saying the same thing there.
Yeah, no, and the reason I mentioned that is because that's exactly your point.
Yeah. It's I mean, and they paid these guys. They paid Woods. They paid a Cup. They got who's the tight end there? Higbee got his money. Yeah. Higbee. They've got a solid team. They got one of the best defenses in the league. They just can't put it together. And they might. It looks like they're moving in the right direction towards the end of this year. The Rams are dangerous.
Yeah. Their secondary is nasty.
Nasty. Jalen Ramsey. I thought that was a stupid move when they did it. Thought they overpaid for him. Boy, was I wrong.
Yo, I think everybody was wrong. It looked like he was gonna be one of those players where it's like, what happened to him?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And he's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
And I mean, he put a number on. Who did he clamp up last week? DK, was it?
Yeah.
Clamped him up. I think 2 catches.
Crazy.
Yeah. So in this matchup again, Jacobs this week. I think last time against KC, Jacobs had 2 touchdowns. Revenge game for KC, so be careful there. Chubb, doesn't matter. Philly's defense, run defense.
I really like Chubb for the end of the year. I do.
Chubb, I think if you look at the offensive line metrics, Stefanski is the coach in Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
The top 2 offensive line graded for running, Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns, both Stefanski offenses.
Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense.
And it's I mentioned that like in week 3, maybe week 3 didn't mean as much. It means something now.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, Nelson's got a fighter's chance. He's still got Tom Brady against the Rams, though, so you don't know. Robbie Anderson.
It's Monday night. You're gonna get Monday Night Brady.
Yeah, it could happen. I mean, he's got Robbie Anderson. You don't know what's going to happen with him. He could blow up 2 touchdowns, and he could put up those T.Y. Hilton numbers from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Any given week.
It's Detroit too, right?
Yeah, it's Detroit. But, Perriman, he hasn't done much. I don't see how I can't give it to Pootie. But I just would say to Pootie, I mean, Yahoo definitely wants you to start Fournette and not Murray. So don't let me and my trash shit talking, sway you from what Yahoo wants.
Oh man.
Man. I think I'm in his head, I think I'm in his head.
Oh man. Do you put Fournette in or I don't know, man.
Latavius Murray.
I don't know, man. One thing I will say, UAA, Kalen Ballage, pleasant surprise. I like him as a player. I like him on the Chargers.
Yeah, I agree. But he's another guy out of that Gase camp, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 guys back there. Yeah, so I'm gonna give this to Pootie, but I'm gonna slap a warning label on this matchup.
Yeah. Brady could change everything.
Slap a big warning label on this one. And another guy I got my eye on that's dude under the radar as hell is Burkhead. They're playing.
Yeah.
Houston. They're playing Houston, man.
Yeah, I agree. You don't know. You don't know. It should be a high-scoring affair, though. I mean, Deshaun Watson's not going to come out and, sink an egg like he did last week.
Oh no, he's got to make up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be Fuller a bomb immediately.
Yeah, I think you're going to see him put up points. So that'll force New England's hand, you know.
Yeah, 100%. So I think we're aligned here. We're both, UAA. We give UAA a puncher's chance, but it's a long shot.
Yeah.
The next matchup we have here is Struggle Bus against John. Pooty no playoffs. Wow. So Struggle Bus 94. I think Will's probably had the most unfortunate luck this year. And John 115 projections. That looks healthy. He's got his newly acquired trio wide receivers.
Yeah, he does. We alluded to this earlier. I mean, John's got a fighter's chance. His weakest spot still is running back.
Yeah.
Zeke has the name, but he doesn't have the production. I was joking in the chat earlier. The draft went on today, just as the league is. Where would Zeke go?
He's a late second round.
Yeah, not a top 3 guy.
No,
that's for sure.
No.
He took a big dice roll on Mixon. I think Mixon, he's got a better shot with Mixon than he does Taylor, just because I call him Pennywise. Who's the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback, the rookie? He looks like
Burrow.
He looks like Pennywise.
He does. Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he looks like Pennywise to me.
He does. The actor, right?
The It movie with the big head. But the kid could ball, and he should only get better and better as the year goes, which should increase Mixon's upside. But the beginning of the year, oh man, Mixon looked like the biggest bust in the draft.
Last year, same thing. I just don't think this coach quite understands what he has in Mixon.
Yeah, I don't know if Mixon knows what he has in Mixon. It's crazy.
That's a good point.
It's crazy.
But if you look at Mixon's matchup, right? Like one thing you do notice is that he had a super tough matchup to start the year.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Philly, Baltimore, Indy, Cleveland again. Like,
yeah,
those are some tough run defenses, man.
And Gio, the alarming thing is when Gio was in, he had that one good game, but he didn't look that good last week.
No. But again, you're fooled by, Gio can carry. No, Gio has a different set of skills, right? So he's going to excel if you give him maybe one of those surprise draw plays from shotgun. You know what I mean? Like you maybe give him some dump offs, let him make plays with some space. I just think Mixon is the total package. I don't understand like how he's not in the top 5 combo.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand how, because the production's not there, but if you look at him, you look at the way he plays, you're like, yo, this guy's it.
Yeah, he looks good. I mean, John might have Ridley coming back this week, right? So
yeah, I know he has him in there, so he's hoping he comes back.
Yeah. And Thielen, I mean, Will, it looks like on paper Will doesn't have a chance, but he might. I mean,
look, Connor and Davis on any given week could outduel any running back.
Yeah, and even Thielen. I mean, he might, like I said earlier, the Minnesota Vikings might only throw the ball 13 times this week, right? Yeah. They might not have to do anything. They just hand the ball off to Cooks and call it a day. Then hand it off to Madison come quarter 3. If that's the same Dallas Cowboys that we've seen ever since Doc went down, right?
That's true. Not much resistance.
No resistance. But the big question mark John has is Thomas. Is that Thomas trade going to pay off? I think before last week he had 6 points total. And what did he get last week? Maybe 4. So you're talking about a guy with 10 points on the entire year. Yeah. Something's wrong with this guy, and maybe I'm wrong, and he could prove it this week. But
did the risk fit the price?
I don't know. It seems like it did. But if John truly had no other options on the table, then yes. But could he have moved those pieces for some help at the running back position? Then no.
Probably. Right. Or maybe he knew he was going to pester Shoota into giving a Mixon one way or another.
I don't think that fixed it.
I think that if you look at his team, it looks good on paper.
It looks a little bit better, but getting away from the Colts guys for the Bengals.
Exactly. Just the names look good.
Yeah.
But the names really
you just traded bust for bust, right?
Yeah. So you're both sides are hoping that a change of scenery.
Yeah.
All right, we got CeeDee Lamb in there in the flex. I see why. Maybe Dalton coming back, Lamb up, but Carson might be coming back. I don't know. That's what I heard. I'm not sure. I doubt it.
Lamb looks like the number one receiver on that team, right?
I know, man, but it's just that with that rookie quarterback, he's
yeah.
Dud. And Dalton was going more to Gallup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah, so in this matchup, I'm gonna go with John. I'm also gonna give a little. I'm gonna attach a warning sticker to this one as well.
Yeah, I think McLaurin could go off. Cousins could go off, but I think if they dominate that game, I think it'll be with the running the ball, and we'll see. I mean, yeah, and even Waller, that tight end position. I mean, that guy, I had him in one of my leagues last year. He was phenomenal. I mean,
I love Waller.
Yeah, he could put up 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, and really surprise you. It could happen.
Let's see what Waller did last game against KC. 7 targets, 5 catches, 48 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's serviceable, but
yeah,
he could do better.
I agree. I agree in terms of volume and yardage. Yeah, 100%. We're taking JC, but warning label on this one. Next matchup we have is this matchup of the week, the second one right here, and it's tremendous playoff implications between our boy Shoota and the Undertaker here.
yeah. Ricky, it seemed like he was pretty confident the last couple of weeks,
Yeah. Well, when you're in your apartment, just keeps getting on a higher and higher floor. I mean,
yeah, but he lost Drew Brees.
Yeah.
The
Tannehill trade looks better, but Tannehill against Baltimore.
It's tough. And it was pretty funny. I mean, I was private DMing him in the middle of the Pittsburgh game last week, and he said, "Oh, you're not in the hunt. You need to win 2 games, just to catch up with us." So I said, "You're not realizing that you're losing to Carl right now, and I get you next week." And he literally, his entire mood changed. I could tell.
Yo, so that just meant the hard work was not done, my brother. You got to keep rolling up your sleeves and keep working, man. That 1 minute that you take time to pat yourself on the back, bro, karma will bring you right back down there.
This dude thought he was in the top 6 already. It was hilarious.
So we got Tyreek Hill against Las Vegas, man. That guy, he's the wild card of this matchup right here.
Yeah, he is. But I could offset that with Keenan Allen versus the Jets. So.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. Yeah. I think he's benefited the most from Herbert.
Absolutely. Keenan Allen wouldn't have been on my team last year, and you alluded to it a few times on this podcast. I did not target Keenan Allen. He just fell to me.
My God, bro.
I wanted nothing to do with him. Absolutely nothing to do with him.
Again, when we look at the end of the year, and we're probably going to do an episode where we look back. I think that's going to go down as one of the best picks.
I think that Ricky had him last year, and I was talking trash about how much he sucked.
Yo, but Keenan Allen is one of those guys where you expect him to take that where you expect him to decline.
Yeah, and he was, but he looks solid now. I mean, it's
really good. But I think Keenan Allen had that injury last year, right? That end of the season. Wasn't it like a spleen injury or some shit like that? Like he got hit in the back.
Something. Even, I mean, the last maybe 2 or 3 years, he's been declining, it seemed like, right? But maybe that was just because the Rivers was declining.
I mean, you got Phillip Rivers who...
Yeah, but Rivers aired it out when he was on the Chargers. He did. He threw that ball far. Yeah. I mean, he tried. Just didn't...
Oh, hold on, because you're putting me to sleep here. Like, you're lulling me to sleep. Like, you're trying to keep me away from the fact that you are starting 2 Pittsburgh Steelers.
Of course. I might not actually. But that's what it looks like now. That flex spot is undetermined. I have plenty of options.
Okay.
I might go. Look, here's my choices for that flex spot. I got Myers, I have Drake, and DJ Moore. I mean,
okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so you got options.
I got options. I don't know which one I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. It was promising looking last week when the Steelers were up by that many points and they did not run the ball.
Oh, yeah.
It really looks like Ben just wants to air it out, wants to get these guys. Ben is thinking Super Bowl or bust. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And I don't think he cares if he blows out teams. I think.
And let me tell you something. With that defense,
Yeah.
They might have a shot.
They might have a shot. They're the real deal. I mean,
Yeah.
Ben, it would be a really nice way to see Ben, go out on top.
I'm a Bills fan, man, and I love my Buffalo Bills. I just want one playoff win this year, right? I know people are like Super Bowl. I feel like the Steelers are better equipped to beat the Chiefs than the Bills are.
I agree with you.
And again, I'm a Bills fan. You know how we are, bro. We love the Bills. But I gotta be honest.
I didn't even know Bills fans existed until I was in this league.
Yeah.
You guys,
some Bills fans are probably looking at it like, yo, you gonna take that? Yeah, dude. We dish it a lot with the Jets. This guy right here, I'm gonna tell you, we give him a lot of flack for the fact that the Jets are like can't get out of their own way. So I gotta accept it too. I just want to say that. Just wanted to say that. But you do have some choices. That Drake really messed up your week, I feel like.
Yeah, he should have went on injured reserve and not come back.
Because Edmonds is a no-brainer in that flex. If
and he might be now. Which is crazy. If you think it's going to be a close game, then Edmonds is the way to go, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Tough one, man. Tough one. But I like this matchup, man. And it's a tough one to call. Like, Ricky was riding a nice wave. He lost last week, right? So this... I think we've reached the must-win territory for most of us. Like I'm including myself in that, right? Like I think we've reached must-win territory. The witching hour is what they call it on the Red Zone.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So Cam against Houston, poor run defense. So you like that for Cam?
I like it for Cam. I do.
Yeah. The quarterback matchup is you have the advantage wide receiver. It's almost a push. I'm gonna give him the edge because Tyreek Hill is the wild card. His
ceiling is way higher.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Running back, I think that both because he doesn't have the RB2, or he has the RB2 decision to make.
He doesn't have one.
He has that Indy.
He's got Salmon and I wish
he's got Taylor and Hines. So again, now he has that decision to make.
Oh, he might play that Salmon guy. That's what he kept calling him in the chat.
Ahmed.
Ahmed, yeah.
He's pretty good.
He might play him. I wouldn't if I were him, but if he puts Taylor in, I'm gonna laugh.
Okay, I'm gonna. You want to give him free lineup advice? One free piece of advice. Go.
Please play Taylor. Watch what happens. You'll be in John's.
So you're telling them you want him to start Jonathan Taylor?
Oh, as an opponent, yes. As a friend, don't do it. That guy is trash.
Yes.
Taylor is trash.
Rest of the season, Nyheim Hines or Taylor?
Hines.
Oof. PPR, same? Obviously PPR. Yeah, you take Hines.
I go Hines. I think Hines is going to give you a couple donuts, but he'll also give you a couple blow-up weeks. He can win you a week or two.
He's probably more vital to that offense than Taylor is.
Correct. And you could see a 20-point game out of him at some point. You're not going to see that from Taylor. I don't think you're going to.
I think consecutively he's had more than 15 points, right?
Yeah.
No, hold on. Okay, so this is Nyheim Hines in a nutshell, and this is kind of what you can expect and what you're alluding to. 2 points, 18 points, 3 points, 23 points.
But what's your ceiling with Taylor?
Well, let's see. I don't even think Taylor's gotten over 15 this year. Oh yeah, he has. Okay, so he started off like the Taylor we thought we were gonna get, right?
And then just
17,
declined.
12, 7, 13, 11, bye week, and then bam. After the bye week, they must have saw something. They must have said something.
Yeah.
The coaches must have seen something because they went right to a rotation after that. Yep.
And it might be pass blocking. It might be something that simple, right? You got an old quarterback. You got to protect them. Might be something that simple.
Oh, was it? I know he had fumbling issues in college. Wonder if that could have been it.
Could have been.
Yeah. So in this matchup, man, I think, you've had some tough weeks. I think that you're finally maybe rounding the turn to like setting yourself up to get in position, right? I think I want I want to say that this is going to be a close game. I'm going to give the edge to you, not because you're here, but just because I like your matchups. You allude to Keenan Allen. Deontay Johnson gets like 15 targets a game, it feels like.
If he stays healthy. Stays healthy. I mean, everybody thought Claypool was going to come in, take it over.
No.
It's not going to happen. Deontay Johnson's the guy. And Juju, you guys could say what you want about him, but he's kind of turned into that short yardage,
I was watching the game.
Yeah.
I was watching the game last week, and I was looking at Juju playing, and I was like, all right, who caught that? I was like, oh, Juju caught that. I was like, damn, that was a big catch, right? Like, so I'm like, okay, Deontay's getting the volume, but I think that when he needs a security blanket, he goes to
That's
Juju.
the guy. That's when he needs 5 yards. He's doing what the run game is not. Right.
Yeah.
So the running game just doesn't seem to be working over there for some reason. And,
It concerns you because that's not Pittsburgh's brand.
No, but again, as we alluded to earlier, that might be what Ben Roethlisberger said he wants. I mean,
he's like, fuck running.
yeah, I mean, guys get older in their careers. Look at Peyton Manning, right? And when he was on his golden years and he broke all those records, you think he didn't tell his coach that?
Yeah, just put it in the air, coach.
Just put yourself in their shoes, right? You say, I don't need the money. I'm not here. I'm here for me, right? So these guys are great quarterbacks, man. I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't see it out of the realm of possibility.
Bro, Todd Gurley, man. Still up there, still running, man.
I don't trust those knees. I think he'll get through the year.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, if Todd Gurley were on my team, he would be on injured reserve. I guarantee it.
Yeah, doesn't it feel like that with some people?
Yes, it does. I had Todd Gurley, I think, his second year in the league, and he completely sucked. Yeah. And I only drafted him. I think I got him in the 3rd round just because I had to go running back heavy.
Yeah.
That was my strategy this year. With COVID and everything, I said I got to have a lot of running backs. That was my main goal. And I was definitely willing to let him go.
Another thing that you do is that you always pinpoint a rookie that will end up getting the work.
I try.
And with Gibson, I mean, obviously, Gibson was a popular name, but I didn't quite buy it. I knew his talent. I knew his talent. I just didn't buy it because there were too many running backs there.
He didn't even play running back in college.
No,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I didn't really know what I was doing when I grabbed him. I thought Cam Akers at the beginning of the year. If you asked me, I would have thought Cam Akers would have been in my slot.
Oh, so wait, you were higher on Cam Akers than you were Gibson?
Absolutely.
I wasn't.
I was, but I just grabbed him. I just grabbed him, and he was there, and the possibility was there. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said I hit on a few guys in the past, like David Johnson, his rookie year. I hung on to that guy.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it. You had David Johnson.
Yeah.
You had a Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I had Chubb, and that might have been the only highlights, but that was recent in the last. I might have had a few more. No,
you've had a few more. I mean, obviously, we don't have the time to dig in, but we'll revisit this. I feel like we have to revisit this. So that's your homework. We need to look into the running backs year to year that you've had, like the young ones, the rookie ones, the hidden ones, because I feel like you've had more. And again, that's something that you look for when you look at a manager. How good are they at finding the long-term solution, right?
Gibson, I think, his lack of quarterback play and his coach, tells you that he should get a shot. And if you guys recall, I got him and Adrian Peterson. I thought Adrian Peterson was going to be the guy there this year. I really did.
And he was.
He was
until he got traded.
Yeah. And here we are. Now he's my number one guy. And
I think it took a torn ACL by our boy, right?
Bryce.
Yeah.
Bryce.
But not just Bryce Love. It was the other running back, the one that had the torn ACL last year that they drafted last yeyear.
Oh, I can't even remember his name. And not just sad. I think he got arrested after.
Yeah, for domestic issues.
I don't think he'll be back in the league again.
Not to laugh at his case, but like it's just like fantasy football, like 2020 and fantasy football all into one right there. That goes to show you. But look who comes out of the ashes: Gibson and McKissick, two really good serviceable guys. On that note, you're gonna pick yourself probably. I'm also gonna pick you, and No offense. I pick you too, Shoota. In my heart, I'll pick you, brother. But I'm gonna pick him. I'm gonna pick Keith here with my mind. Anything else on this matchup, bro, before we go?
Good luck, Ricky.
Yo, what? Okay, so what's your prediction for Ricky for the rest of the season?
Doesn't make the playoffs.
Oof.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Maybe. But he might not. I don't know. Him and John, I mean, they traded trash over the last week. It was kind of cool, but I don't know. I really like it. When you look at the playoff prediction, what's going on? Pooty really made a strong.
I think he's aligned himself. He put himself right in that conversation.
Yeah, and I think he's going to get in there. And I think it's real interesting that me and you get to go up against each other week 13. Like I said, that might be for the slot. So some there can't be more than 6. All right.
I played Carl the week before, so hopefully Carl can help me.
We'll see.
I got Carl on as a guest next week too, so we got something working.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I got Ricky, and then I get Abdella, and then I get you.
Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna have to call Abdella. I'm gonna need to get his password. Speaking of Abdella, last matchup is Let's Go and Suicide Squad, and this is the battle for last place, maybe because Carl won last week, so I gotta give him some love, and he tried.
Carl swore he was gonna finish plus 500.
Oh man, he made moves. I like the moves he made though.
He might. I mean, Tyler Boyd is a pleasant disappointment. It looks like he is not the number 1 receiver on that team now.
With the passing volume on that offense, you wish it was more. But even though you look at Boyd's numbers, they're good.
Oh, who's the guy there? Higgins?
Higgins is the guy.
He's legit.
Yeah.
He's legit. He's the number 1 receiver there.
And a future name for everybody to keep in mind, AJ Green is on his way out. He's probably not going to be with that team next year. I'm going to probably put that at like 95% probability.
Patriot.
Auden Tate is super gifted. Look him up next year. I'm telling you, if they still keep up this passing volume, that could be a nice little trio in Cincy.
I hope that Cincy lets go of that guy Ross, though. Did they cut him yet?
No, that looks like that's in his future.
Let's cut him. I mean, I actually like Ross. I
did too.
My youngest son, who's 9 years old, thinks that he should be like the best receiver in the world because he plays Madden and the guy's speed is 99.
Yeah,
like,
he's ridiculous.
Like I'd like to
he's
see that
better suited. He's better suited with a coach like an Andy Reid
or Gruden,
who will maximize like his skill set. I just think he got Marvin Lewis, and then he got this coach who they don't know how to use him.
No,
they don't know how to use him too. Yeah,
but maybe they give him. I don't know. This would have been the year if they were going to give him a shot. They should have did.
Yeah, no, I think they're done with him. They're done with him. Everything else here, Claypool, a waiver wire pickup. I love Claypool. I think we talked about him on the show during draft. That Ryan was big on him. I was big on him. We knew. I think everybody had Claypool like in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, Claypool versus Fulcam though, and Fulcam, what happened to him?
What happened to him was that the Eagles started getting healthy.
Yeah, I mean he didn't even put up a point last week. Now that I'm looking down, I mean he just fell off a cliff.
Alshon played last week, right?
Yeah.
So
didn't do much, but
Alshon played. Rager played. I just think now the water is muddy.
Yeah.
Goddard's back.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to score points in Philly. It's really unpredictable.
Yeah, that if you have Philly players week to week.
Even Sanders, look at who Boston Scott busted out, a 90-yard run last week?
Yeah.
I mean.
Was that a screen though?
I don't know. Yeah, it might have been a screen.
I think it was a screen. But no, I think there's an opportunity for both Scott to be a flex-worthy play, and I think Sanders, sky's the limit with him. I like what they're doing. I think that what they were trying to do is they were trying to give Sanders the Derrick Henry workload.
Yeah.
And not everyone can I'm not saying Sanders can't handle that, right? I'm just saying
he's not built like him.
It doesn't make sense. Exactly. It doesn't make sense to give him that workload, especially when you got a guy like Boston Scott behind him.
Yeah.
Give him but that's Sproles Jr. Give him 5 to 10 touches. It's not going to hurt.
Make a ball. But I mean, looking at this matchup, Melvin Gordon, gosh, another one of the busts of the year. I mean, that's just who'd have saw it. I would have drafted him in maybe the 5th round, right?
He was on your he was on your draft radar?
In the right round, I would have grabbed him. Maybe when did he go? 5th, 6th?
I'll tell you right now. I could tell you this, bro. I didn't draft him in not one mock draft.
John Elway usually doesn't spend money stupidly, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He did this time.
Or unless he's drafting guys like Brock Osweiler.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a doozy. Thanks.
That was a doozy, but that was the draft. I mean, he went out and gave this guy money.
Oh, I just found out when Melvin Gordon went, bro.
When did he go?
Oh my God, I'll give you a guess, bro. Look at my face.
Third round.
See, that was my face. I told you.
3rd round. I would have taken him in the 5th. You know, like in hindsight. You know, I probably.
He went ahead of Leonard Fournette, your boy.
He sucks.
He went ahead of Kareem Hunt, Raheem Mostert, Stephon Diggs. Mostert
is the one that sticks out there. He's a league winner for you if he comes back healthy.
Yeah, man. Stephon Diggs, he went against before AJ Brown, DJ Moore. Wow, he went before Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley. Yo,
it wasn't a bad. I mean, the 3rd round may have been a little bit of a reach, but the guy was draftable. That's what I'm saying.
No, you're right. I think that the draftable aspect, 100%. 3rd round, no. 4th round, like for me personally, he would have to be there like in the 7th round for me to say, oh, Gordon.
But the way he looks now, it looks no different than the Royce Freeman, Philip Lindsay show, right? It looks like the same thing.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. I like Lindsay, man. I don't understand. I looked at his numbers. I thought he was gonna have like a pretty decent week last week. Well, he had 1 carry last week.
He's not built to be a bruiser, though. He's a little guy.
But I thought they were at least going to give him the role that he had before, where he was getting some screen passes, involved in the passing game, giving him more of those stretch runs, the toss plays, let him use his speed. But I didn't really see him on the field much.
I don't know. Drew Lock was really hurt, though. It seemed like they were trying to protect him.
Apparently, Drew Lock might even be questionable for this game.
Yeah, he was hurt. So.
Yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of time on this game, man.
Sorry.
No. I will say, Mike Williams. I love Mike Williams. Again, Herbert. He's made both of those receivers relevant.
Yeah, he has. Williams seems more like the tight game type of guy.
Yeah.
When the game's close, he's going to come up big. But yeah, I like them both.
What are the chances DJ Dallas and Jimmy Graham are still in the lineup come Sunday?
I don't know. He's definitely. I would hope he's going to put in Le'Veon, right?
Yo, send me your password, bro.
I hope he puts in Le'Veon. Yeah.
So on this one, dude, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I know who I'm picking.
Yeah, Carl's hell bent on getting at least 500.
Running the table. He just wants to run the table.
He does not want to have a losing record. I know that much about him.
Well, let me tell you something, Carl. You need to make the playoffs to get 500 because I think the best you can do right now is 6 and 7.
Yeah.
So if you want to break even, make the playoffs and win a game. Let's go.
Let's go.
No, not let's go, but let's go, Suicide Squad. So you got Carl on this one too, right?
Yeah, I got Carl.
That's because that's your boy, bro. I know he paid you to say that. So I think we got through it, bro. Hey, first episode with my guy here. Thank you so much, man. What else? What do you want to leave us with? What do you want to say to the guys? What do you want to have them watch out for? What do you think?
You guys better hope I don't win.
Yo, dude, I might light some candles, bro. I might light some candles.
If I win, you guys will hear more shit talked than ever.
I know.
Ever. That's why I'll never win. That's what'll happen. The gods don't want me to win.
You remember? I think last year you asked me, "Yo, why are you so quiet? I'm trying to get you to talk shit." I'm like, "Bro, I don't want to anger the fantasy gods."
Yeah.
And I think you kept like trying to get me to talk shit last year. Oh man, nah, man. What are you sacrificing to make this happen?
Ricky.
When you look at when you look at our teams, and we talked about like the teams that we feel like are powerhouse teams, right? Give me your dark horse in the league.
Dark horse, Pooty.
I think I kind of got that. And
Pooty, if Herbert keeps going strong, you get a young guy like that, doesn't care if he's in the playoffs or not. He just wants to show everybody who he is. His moves at running back were solid. I think he's dangerous. If Robert Woods starts balling like he should and he stops being afraid to start Mike Evans, he'll be just fine.
Yo, when I saw that he didn't start Mike Evans, I was like, dude, that's the problem with Mike Evans. You got to keep him in your lineup, and you got to eat those bad games with him.
You got to eat him. Eat him.
He's like Lockett to me, but that's why I didn't want both of them.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, no, I like that dark horse pick. So, I didn't do midseason awards, and I want to do a few of them now. So, you're gonna give the most improved manager. Are you gonna give that to Pooty?
Yes. Especially since he made so many deals.
Right now, the least improved manager. And it's not to like throw shade. It's just like maybe things have happened that the moves just didn't work this year for you.
I got to give it to my dude Carl, because his first season with us, he made the finals.
He did.
So expectations were high, right?
Yeah.
And then he's
underperformed. I chopped that one.
Yeah, he's underperformed a little bit since, but he's good at this. He follows it. He really likes the game of football. He's all right.
And we like having him in the league, so we appreciate you for bringing him on. But you are the least improved, my brother. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. What else can we give? Who is your league MVP?
Player or?
No, I'm just gonna give you as a manager. Like, yo, spot on. You've done everything right. Will we give it to London? Is London our league MVP?
I got to give it to a tie. London and you, because of the podcast. I think that's added a great level of entertainment. And London, I'd say you and London, I'd have to give that as a co-award. London really sat quietly at the draft, focused.
I heard. Smart man.
We tried to get him drunk and everything. Nothing worked. I mean,
with London, if you look back, I don't know if we could do this, but if you look at the draft results for London, if you look at the early rounds, solid.
Yeah.
Every year, it was as the rounds progressed, he got progressively worse.
Man, I put a bottle of bourbon out in front of everybody. The only person biting on any of my snacks was Ricky.
Yeah, that's nice. So maybe I could do a pod on location next year. Maybe for like the draft or something like that. Are we doing it at your beach house next year, or are we still doing it at your farm?
I would say the farm. I could get us a beach house, but
I know you could. There's rumors out there you got a beach house.
I don't have one, but I have access.
We're just gonna say you have one. Don't worry.
I don't have one, but I definitely have a farm, and I would recommend the farm.
Oh, nice. Hey, if you've watched all these episodes, this is the manager we're referring to. He literally has goats.
Yeah, I don't really have a farm.
I'm calling it a farm.
Everybody does. I got 10 acres, decent house. But when I bought the house in February, it came with 2 goats, and I turned that into my kid's job, like a daily chore. Figured what let them live, right?
Responsibility, yeah,
and that's their job. And
I like that. So. Yeah, man, it's really good. I feel like we can go with some awards. I don't want to throw too much shade, but I wanted to use your because I know that I definitely respect your not only expertise, but you're a solid dude. I've known you again pretty much my whole life.
Yeah, we go back, man. Yeah. We didn't go to school together either.
No, that's the funny thing. No, but it's the commish. I was always around the commission, his guys, and our lives clash, and I appreciate it so much, man. Again, dude, thank you for joining the podcast.
Thanks for having me, man.
Great guest. We got some great content. I can't wait to go and edit it and share it with the guys. I'm gonna go text the commission, let them know, yo, we got another good one. Please come back and join us in the future. We have a panel episode that I'm thinking of doing maybe in the playoffs for either those that didn't make it, we can just like go in on the people that did. Or vice versa. We could talk about us being in the playoffs. So hopefully you can join us, man. Thank you.
It's a high probability that only one of us will make the playoffs.
No, dude, you're scaring me that you've done this math already.
I am much more calculated than this league thinks.
Yo, it's scaring me that you've done this much math.
Yeah.
I'm about to call Let's Go right now. I need that password.
Go ahead. And Pooty, don't think that my vote of confidence doesn't mean that Lenny doesn't suck. He sucks.
I think we agree that Lenny sucked. Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong and start him.
Go ahead, start him. Yeah, prove me wrong.
No, again, thank you. If anyone here would like to pick our guy here's brain on fantasy football or anything, please email us at thefantasystandardtfs@gmail.com. We can get you in contact. If you like what we've done with the league, if you want any feedback as to how to do this, you can always reach out to us. Same email, thefantasystandardtfs@gmail.com. My Instagram handle is right under me. I'm not going to give you my guys here because, again, we have a NDA that I had to sign. Otherwise, his representatives will be all over me. But if you want to reach out to our commission, ask, hey, how do you run a league or something like that? Again, thefantasystandardtfs@gmail. Comment section below, smash that like button, subscribe. We got more content coming. We're going to get better. We're going to have great guests like my guy Keith coming on. Keith, anything else before we go, bro?
No, thanks again, and thanks for your efforts on the cast, man. Best of luck to you in all of your endeavors.
I appreciate that, brother. One last thing to note, our episodes are powered by Infamy, up-and-coming producer, very, very great. He charges for these beats, and he told us, hey, unlicensed, you can use all of my beats. So we appreciate you. This is what you're hearing in the background. We didn't want to just leave that air. Thank you so much, guys. Peace.
Take care, man.